Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It's Tuesday, but it's also match day and I'm extremely happy. Today it's a special one that I really like. Juventus first team against Juventus next gen. Of course, it's not the traditional game, so don't expect I don't know what in terms of football, but pay attention because according to me, in terms of value, in terms of a lot of other things, it's extremely important. That's why we will also do here on the channel a watch along and eventually a post-game debrief of the game. We'll speak about the game, we'll speak about Mercato with a lot of updates. Yes, it's true, the same names, but new updates. I told you that this week would be crucial. Maximum of like if you didn't yet, please continue to subscribe to the channel. I'm reading you. Yesterday I didn't insist a lot on these thumbs up, so guys, don't forget, maximum of efforts, put that thumb up, and now we start with Juventus first team against Juventus next gen. What does it represent? Well, it's a party today. It is a party, and I will already anticipate you something. Normally, bar last minute changes, it will be 30 minutes first half, 30 minutes second half, and not the traditional 45-35. But anyway, it is a party. It's a moment of celebration. It's a moment of being with the family. When you will look on the left, on the right, in front, in the back, on the pitch, you will see only bianconeri. And it's a tradition that I really love and I hope we can continue in the years, in the future. And I'm quite reassured about that. I nearly can promise you that. It's true, it's not anymore in Villar Perosa. Since last year, it is in the Allianz Stadium, where last year first level was open. Now, this year, the two levels are open with 40,000 tickets sold, so it's a total sold out, where we'll be between bianconeri. A family tradition that will continue, because sometimes it's also underrated, the fact that we have the same ownership since 101 years. If we are looking in today's world, where football is more and more business, where clubs are managed by investment funds, by banks where you don't even see or know who is your president, your owner, well, Juventus Football Club, they continue. That doesn't mean that you always agree with the thoughts, with the vision, with the decision of your ownership. Not always they are totally perfect, but at least we have people that care. And I can tell you that also the new generation, like for example the kids of John Elkann, are really die-hard Juventini, so I think that this tradition can continue for a really long time. John Elkann spoke this morning. I will try to be brief, but important things, because we have a new word that has been repeated more than once today in Tuttosport: entertainment. Motta, un giovane per i giovani, è lo spettacolo. Motta is young, is a young coach for the youth and for the entertainment. Last year, Scannavino said, for this season we want this, and we want also to increase the way of playing. Unfortunately, we didn't see it for a really long time. We saw it in the 3-4 first games of the season, and then it disappeared. It went in plan B. But now with hearing also John Elkann, I think that really it will push on that way of playing, in that entertaining way of playing, which is important. That will not replace the vincere non è importante, è l'unica cosa che conta. Winning is not important, it's the only thing that matters, but will come on top of that. You can win by also entertaining. And these are the words of John Elkann. He's saying the Juventus of Motta has a huge potential. Is football, is sport also entertainment? Yes, it is. For who is participating, so for the players that are doing it on the field, but also for people that are watching. And with Thiago Motta, we really believe that he's the coach for these young, new generations. The team is young. Thiago Motta is young. He has experience. He himself was a football player. He was the one that we needed. But the collective of Juventus has really huge potential. Extraordinario. He said potenziale straordinario, which means a huge, big potential. What about the new generation? That is something that actually Agnelli was already speaking about years ago. Well, he's saying the important thing is to bring back people to the stadium to live an event, which we are succeeding at, which we are continuing to grow at, but also for the people that are not able to go to the stadium, giving them ways to also participate, to be involved. And that's also one of the reasons why Juventus Creator Lab has been created. By the way, today it's Juventus Creator Lab that is organizing, that is hosting that event, Juventus First Team against Juventus Next Gen. So wait for it, because beautiful things are expecting Juve, and if you want to be entertained, well, we will try to entertain, or at least this is one of the objectives also from John Elkann. Now, We spoke about the entertainment part, we spoke about a bit of vision, let's speak about the field. Well, not only I will be curious about the 11 players from the first team and to see the progression. By the way, I already told you, 30 minutes, so we'll not have that many answered. I think that Thiago Motta said, we played a few days ago, we are still working on our physical condition, we will play and travel to Sweden against Atletico Madrid on Sunday, so let's not exaggerate. We want to avoid any injury, so let's keep it calm. It will be a celebration, a training plus, let's say. But I'm curious also about the next gen players, because if Adzic will play with the first team, probably, well, who are the next Soulé, Barrenechea, Iring Jr.? I think that we can already mention the Argentinian new potential Soulé, Quattrocchi. That can be someone that we can observe today for the very first time. Then there is that kid, Puchka, Austrian player that apparently 19 years old is also a real beautiful potential. And then you already have the ones that are growing from Primavera to next gen last season that are there to be reconfirmed and being important parts like Lorenzo Angele. Pay attention to these three names. I'm really curious. What about the other players that are out of project? I don't believe they will be with the first team. I don't believe they will be with the next gen team. I don't even believe that they will be in the stand because we know it and has been declared publicly they are out of project. If I anticipate you in this channel that the game will be 30-30 except of last minute changes, I can also anticipate you other things like I'm doing since a few weeks now. If you are really listening well, yesterday, what did I say about Milik? When I heard about that injury to Scamacca, and again, best wishes to him, recovery that hopefully goes faster than what is planned, 6 months at least. Well, I said if I was Giuntoli, I would take that phone, ring, ring, and I would call Percassi, Gasperini, telling them, here, Milik, decrease that price from our AAA objective, that is Cope Manners. Of course, that will create a problem of Vice Vlahovic that we need to replace, but I think that we can go for other options there, especially because Milik is not really part of Juventus, while Atalanta is looking for someone with experience, Champions League, Serie A, the language, physical player, etc., etc., etc. This morning, Nico Schira, this morning, Gazzetta dello Sport, they are reporting exactly what I told you yesterday. Arek Milik has been offered to Atalanta. The Polish striker is not in Juventus' plan and could become a target to replace Scamacca. His contract with Juve expired in 2026, 3.5 million euro. Exactly the same words, or more or less, from Gazzetta dello Sport. They are saying Giuntoli is a rush for Cope Manners, and the name of Milik is circulating in the offices of Atalanta. Now, I don't know if it will happen or not, but I thought yesterday that that was or could potentially be a real potential name in these possible deals that Juventus should have done. Then, if I already knew and I gave you an exclusivity, could be. If I just guessed by deduction, could be. If I was just lucky, could be. Let me know what you think that I gave you about that information about Milik, because I'm really, really curious about that. Now, Juventus will really go to Cope Manners. What are the dangers? That Atalanta, at a certain moment, they are saying, we can't go for Nico Gonzalez because we need another striker. We have Scamacca that is injured. We are playing Real Madrid on the 14th. We plan a season where we want to do really well in a lot of competition. You know what? We keep Cope Manners. If it's not for 60, we don't do it. So that can be potentially last-minute danger. In the meanwhile, Giuntoli is collecting money from left, from right, for everywhere. Where he can, he's collecting money at the moment to go with the offer that Atalanta can't refuse. And hopefully he can do it extremely fast. And that's why we see a lot of exit movements like the one of Barbieri that could go for 2.2 million plus 1 million of bonus to Cremonese, to 4 million plus 1 of bonus of Nicolussi Caviglia to Venezia. So he's starting to sell. Also Frabotta, giving him away for free with a 20% resale percentage to West Bromwich. So he's giving away the easiest players at the moment, step by step. And then we go towards the difficult ones. But it's true that on the other side, at the moment, it's not enough to go full power, especially if we have some problems with teams that are saying, we don't need guarantees on the future. We want certainties. And Nice, for example, they are doing difficult life to Juve. I don't like these long transactions. I love the Douglas Luiz one. Boom, boom, and you go. I love the Cabal one. even if it's an exception. But you hear Cabal the day after, he's already in Torino recording videos and TikToks for Juve. That's what I love. Todibo, no. Because it's taking now too long. And if we were totally serious and sure that he would join Juve, this is doing difficult because they want a certainty that Juventus will permanently sign the player more than guarantees. Guarantees are not enough. And you know it, until the player is not there with a Juve shirt, I start to be a bit worried. I tell you, I don't want to alarm you, but I start to be a bit worried about Todibo. Pay attention. I liked Bremer yesterday out of nowhere, like I told you, fast, boom, boom, the day before Andrezinho saying he will sign on Monday. On Monday, he signed extension of contract until 2029. If you want to know all the details, I already spoke about it yesterday in the video. It's a really good one. Go and watch it if you didn't yet. On the other side, another that could have been certain and should have already been signed is Kenan Yildiz extension with Juventus, where with his old management, everything was already done. From 300k, which is the salary of a top next-gen player, young potential next-gen player, he could go to a triple of it, 1 million euro net as a first-team player, with possibly also the number 10. Well, with the new management of Yildiz, that million could or should not be enough, because he's now a starter of that Turkish national team, because they know that he's at a certain at the center of that project in a way, not as an isolated player, but an important key of Juventus 24-25. They know that Juventus believe in it. They know that he's an example also for all the young players that are coming to Juventus. Come to Juve, look at the structures, the infrastructures, the material, the tools that you have at disposal, and you can even become the next Del Piero, the next number 10. Pay attention when I'm saying that the next Del Piero, it's not that Yildiz is Del Piero, but you know, in the collective mind, the number 10, the new possible star of Juve. Well, they want more. From 1, they could potentially even ask 2, if not 2.5. Is it deserved? Is it not deserved? Is it correct to ask that? It's a new management that is way more stronger. They want to do the interest over their player. Let's see how this will happen. To be honest, I'm not in a rush. I think that this kind of discussion, even if he keeps the number 15 for this season, can be restarted from the 1st of September, because we have other things that are at the moment more a priority, more important. Like, for example, finding offensive wingers for Juve. And if Sancho is closer and closer to Paris Saint-Germain, if yesterday Adeyemi, after understanding that Juventus deal would have collapsed or was already collapsed, promised eternal love, or at least for 24-25 to Dortmund, well, Nico Gonzalez, after Atalanta said, Scamacca is injured, we can't go anymore for Nico Gonzalez, not the one that we need at the moment now, plans are changing, well, Juve is there, and Nico Gonzalez will today meet Fiorentina management. Will say, I already found an agreement with Juve, I want to go to Juve, find a solution with Juve, but that's where I want to go. Could be, could really be. I'm really curious, but Nico Gonzalez more and more could potentially be a Juve player. I don't know, maybe I will put him on the front of this thumbnail because he's an important player. Or a serious player, let's see, for Juventus Football Club of 24-25, a player that can play on the left, can play on the right. He's an offensive player that is also able to sacrifice himself for the team. Could be an important one. Let's see. Let me know what your opinions are about Nico Gonzalez. And then there is another name where Juventus is extremely serious on, like reported again by Portuguese papers this morning, the one of Galeno. Galeno, that we know has a release clause of 60, that Juventus will not go for it. Porto has the necessity of selling 30 million euro, not less. Juventus could possibly go for that one, or with a creative solution, or boom boom and they go for the player immediately, permanently. But that player that is wearing the number 13 at Porto could be a real objective, and today Juventus will meet the management of Porto. Who knows, maybe the management of Porto will be there in the stand. I'm really curious, but Galeno could be a real serious player. I don't like when it's taking too long. Also for the exit strategy, I would have loved if the decision was taken by Chiesa's camp, by Juventus camp, that Chiesa would already have been in another team. So at least we don't speak about it anymore, and we can plan and build and continue to invest in our future. But Chiesa is still there, judging, where should I go, do I want to go? I didn't want to go to Roma. Roma is back now, and if the green light of Federico Chiesa will arrive, Roma could be again in the run. It all depends on Federico Chiesa. Guys, that was it for me for the video. We will see each other for the watch along in today's video later. I'm counting on you. Maximum of like, don't forget to comment and subscribe if you didn't yet. Grazie, forza, Juve.